Up on King Sejong Station. Okay, in the bottom right, in the red, he needs to start to turn this around.
GSL Green Wings Cure.
And his opponent here in the upper left, looking invincible right now.
SK Telecom T1 Innovation.
Just made it look easy. Very, calm and collected play there in game number one. Just deflecting the Banshee harass. Well, I don't know if he deflected or if Cure really just dropped the ball there. But
yeah, I don't know if that's deflection. That's
he was ready for it.
And that's basically like if Cure was charging at him, with like a javelin and then tripped and fell down a hill.
Yeah.
Would we really say that Innovation made him fall, or?
I don't think so.
I guess we could say Innovation defeated him, but I don't think Innovation put that hill there, that rock there.
No.
I mean, that was really just Cure, like, not even watching the Banshee in that last game, which is surprising to say the least. Normally when you get to semifinals, you just don't see mistakes like that. All right, here comes the Command Center. Cure is going to go for a different build now. Command Center first. Innovation is actually getting his barracks now. His gas is already done. He actually got his gas before the barracks.
Yeah, and with the CC first coming out for Cure, his economic lead can grow quite quickly if he can hold on to that base. But against a really fast gas like Innovation has, it's pretty tough to defend. He's going to have to play very carefully.
Hi, nerds. Welcome to the studios, guys. Thanks for coming down. Guys, if you're at home, well, first of all, you messed up because you're not at the studio. But second of all, come to the studio.
Yes.
Entry's free. We have free Hot 6.
Yes.
You can up your heart rate all you want. You can drink as many of those as you need. And we have great giveaways. We're giving out GSL coins, which can go into raffles. I believe we're giving out movie tickets today.
Yeah.
At the end of the show to Dracula. What Dracula movie is it?
Not the one that I'm starring in.
Hold on, is this written down for us? I was like, now's my great time to promote.
It's like Dracula
the new Dracula movie, guys. I don't know. Dracula Untold.
Okay.
Woo, that was close. All right. Almost messed up the promotion there. Dracula Untold. Giving away tickets. You stay here afterwards.
Yes. So
I'm trying to think of how I could have messed it up worse. I'm like, the new Batman movie. You're like, no. Tasteless. Dracula is a man that can turn into a bat, but it's not the Batman movie. You're confused. We're talking about the vampire movie. I'm like, oh, the new Twilight movie? You're like, no, tasteless.
It's not Buffy the Vampire
It's not
Slayer
Buffy.
either.
Yeah.
It's not.
I'm like, Blade 4.
Blade, no,
Blade 4 is coming out.
It's not Blade Runner either.
Castlevania 27.
Was there ever a Castlevania movie?
I hope not. Quick question for you. What's the best Castlevania?
I don't know.
Symphony of the Night. That's right, Wolf. It's Symphony of the Night on PlayStation 1. That's the best one.
I only played like the original one and one for Game Boy Advance. I can't even remember what it was called, but it was good.
They're good. They're definitely good.
One day Simon Belmont will find his way into Smash Brothers, I hope.
Oh, wouldn't that be nice?
So let's see how much, actually, I was going to say, let's see how much damage this
One
gas...
thing Simon Belmont can't do is wave dash. Well, if you played a Castlevania game, it's definitely not... I'm pretty sure out of all the characters of all games, that guy can't wave dash, man.
He's like slower than Donkey Kong.
I think, yeah. Why don't we just put King Graham from King's Quest in there, too? I'm sure he can't wave dash. He probably can't even attack.
I just want to point out, by the way, Innovation doesn't know that he's really behind because he hasn't been able to get any scouting information about Cure CC first. Then he took his gas first and just made it into a blind Raven and plays really defensively here, really conservatively, but it's actually not going to pay off because his opponent is just getting further and further ahead economically. So Cure's pretty ahead here in almost every regard right now.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you do a build like this and you go untouched.
Yeah.
You're still smiling, Wolf. You like my Wolf likes
that
my
wave
joke.
dashing joke was like the best joke I've ever heard.
Yeah. That guy's so cumbersome in Castlevania. I mean, it's hard to, get him to do what you want. So we have the command center now about to finish for Innovation. We do have a drop coming here for Cure. So Cure in a little bit of a lead.
Yeah, massive lead economically for sure.
He took a bit of a risk early, but the build Innovation was doing was generic enough. It couldn't really punish that.
Let's see where he drops this medevac, because I feel like going to the main would be better considering there's tanks there at the natural. I think he just wants to swing around. He's actually going to bump into something over there. Okay, bumped into the Raven. Has to run away.
Yeah.
So Cure is just continuing to build up, continue to power up off of that early economic lead. And is going into a third CC here. It's up to Innovation now to try to move out and do some damage to catch up for the fact he's been down.
Oh my god,
no!
the Raven!
Oh, he's going to lose it, I think.
Oh! You really get to feel how slow that unit is in moments like that. Well, that's good. He did not lose the Raven because...
Oh, well, he has to turn around. Cure is so smart. He's going to try to force him to turn around here.
Well,
so
you know what? This actually might be a mistake, though. I don't know. I mean, look, I think Innovation can now push. There's not a ton of Marines in there. It's not like...
Especially if they line up like this against Hellions.
Oh, man. And meanwhile, there's actually a push here from Innovation. He's going to be able to hit the gas from here. Is he in range of that siege tank there? No, apparently just barely not in range there.
Look at this repair. So nice. Just got to save that Viking.
Really nicely done.
This isn't doing too much damage, but pick off one of the Hellions, I guess. Oh, this could do a lot, though. There's nothing over here. I don't think he noticed this drop is coming. Now he's sending units up. Needs to go ahead and pull out of there with that turret there. Gets a few kills here, but oh, he needs a pause. Oh, God. This is a disaster.
Whoa.
I hope everything is okay.
Okay, let's... crisis time, guys. We are going to let you all at home know when we're notified what the problem is.
Yeah.
It was a problem on Innovation's end.
That's really painful because pause there not happening when he dropped.
This is definitely an awkward time in the game to pause.
Yeah.
Since both players were dropping, and his mouse is not working properly. Well, the mouse is pretty important.
Yeah. I mean, at least he was able to type PP. If your keyboard stops working, that could be a challenge sometimes. But yeah, I'm not sure what I guess we're probably just going to make sure the drivers are working and get back into this game pretty quick. We do have some tools.
We're going to go inside there, and this is find out Innovation's mouse is actually a rock with a string on it. We're like, Innovation, this is the problem right here.
It's like got moss growing on it.
Yeah. Those are the expensive ones, man. Those are the
nice
pro game release, though. Yeah, the
mouse bungees, a snake.
The rock with moss and the string on it. Yeah. The really nice ones are, they've actually let the ocean waters smooth them out over the years.
Yeah.
Okay. We also don't know just yet if this is going to be something where they're going to have to resume from part of the game previously.
Yeah, go back or
something. Anyways, we'll keep you guys posted. So.
She says that even though she was really sick today, she came to watch. I didn't get to see anything about why there was a Squidward face on the sign.
You know who's really sick today is Kira and Innovation. These guys are so good. Oh, but you were talking about she's actually... Okay, she's unhealthy sick. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. So I hope she feels better.
In my world, in the city where everything is sick...
Well, there's nothing better, actually, to make you feel better than just watching an awesome Terran versus Terran between two players in the summer.
Well, I've always thought Terran versus Terran was one of the best matchups all the way back into, pre-Brood War, just vanilla StarCraft 1. It's actually a really cool matchup, the way it works. The way, everything is centered around the siege tank, but the problem with the siege tank is it's so difficult to engage, so it really does become this big, chess game on the map.
Sure, and I read on WebMD that it's good for colds.
Oh, wow. It's good for colds? TVTs?
Yeah, to watch that. Yeah, so maybe that's why she came down.
I got nothing, Wolf. I can't volley anything off this joke. I'm sorry. I don't mean to leave you hanging here.
Well, we just don't know what's happening here, and it looks like there's been a lot of referees going in here to talk about the decision, so it looks like he's been told.
Well, this is a tougher one because normally we have games that pause in the first minute.
Yeah.
That's when it's most common is somebody says, wait a minute, my mouse feels weird, hold on. Try to get some adjustments made.
Yeah.
But in this specific situation, we did have both players dropping. We did have both players actually taking some pretty considerable losses.
Right.
We had that Raven get nearly killed. We had the drop, which I would say was not particularly impactful.
Yeah, neither drop really since his mouse stopped working.
Well, not impactful on damaging the opponent, but they did lose stuff in the drop, and the drop is going to have to move again. So this is a pretty important moment in the game, guys. And this is also a stressful moment probably for both these players.
Right.
When you're in a tournament. Oh, hold on, guys. Oh, all right. I've been notified that we are actually
just going to get right back.
We're going to resume the game. Okay, everything's cool now. Sorry, guys. We're getting updated like live with what's going on here.
Since it was his personal equipment, that's why the decision was made this way. And oh god, this is just these Vikings should be able to narrow this down. He does pick off both siege tanks though, so for 2 for 2.
So just to go back for a second, yeah, because it was his equipment. All we can really do is resume the game from there.
Yeah. So things ended up being, fairly even trades for both players. You could notice that Innovation now has no siege tanks, so it does have these mobile Hellions. Cure does have that third base up to remind you guys that he's got that triple mules he could drop. He's got triple SCVs he could produce. And Innovation is hard-pressed to now catch up and get his own base up. And yes, Blue Flame almost completed, but we were going to see Viking harass. I think he's just going to camp the starport.
Yeah, he can actually go right over there. Since Innovation is going for pretty heavy mech right now, there's really nothing you can do to stop the Vikings from just flying over here and gunning down anything that comes out of the starport. Meanwhile, Cure's actually pushing up with his army here in the middle of the map.
Yep, and he's trying to draw those army units into the main base, which he's successfully done. Hellions are up there. Hellions aren't going to be helpful against this unless those Vikings land. He's just forcing the Hellions to be here. If he leaves, he's going to drop the Vikings, and this army is going to get all the way up to his natural. It's a lot of Hellions, though. He may be able to just force this back. Let's wait and see. It's a pretty puny army he's pushing out with here, but it's sieging up that gas here.
Oh, damn. Nice repair there. So he's driven out those Vikings. We have more of the army here for Cure, reinforcing. This is cutting off circulation between the second base and the third base, but Cure's now coming down here, and that's just going to be too many Hellbats. He's going to obliterate that tank. This will push the soft contain for Cure back over here. In fact, he's not even going to keep that as a contain. He's going to just move back.
A bit surprising to me he didn't just try to force a cancel on that CC since it wasn't done, and he saw that.
Yeah, that was a bit odd. It probably would have been better to go up there, attack that, and then loop around to the right side of the map and go down.
Because I would have put him in a massive lead economically. I mean, his third base has already landed and has dropped mules and is mining and is getting gases up. So regardless, he doesn't take too many losses, but he definitely wanted to get more done there. Losing those Vikings was kind of painful. I like this little setup here with these depots, so it's harder for Hellions to get in there and harass, which Innovation has been showing already since Game 1. He really loves that heavy Hellion force. When he goes with his mech, he likes to drop on top of the army especially. Okay,
so we have Cure with map control right now, but you can see he's not entirely sure how to utilize it. I thought he might have gone over there and sieged up and tried to blow up that one refinery. Then again, I look at that army, that's just what, 2 tanks. Okay, 2 tanks he might have been able to do it. But instead he's going to try to creep up here and maybe hit this third base. The third base seems to be pretty vulnerable, at least from what we can see on the mini-map. There doesn't seem to be a big army out there. No, there's not. Just one siege tank.
Yep, and he sees that, goes up here. Stims is going to pick that tank off instantly here.
He should probably back up. Or at least you're going to get out of tank range. Oh, man.
He's going to snipe the command center. And here come those drops on top of that bio. Now, does Innovation have enough?
Well, I got to say, Cure's kiting very well, but this is a lot of Hellbats. He's continuing to push forward. And, the thing is, those Hellbats are just so meaty.
And those Vikings are so important here because they're able to push the medevacs of Cure back.
I'm surprised he didn't push further forward there.
Same.
Oh, you know what? There were a few more Marines down there grouping up with that army. Still, though, I probably would have tried to get the medevacs there either way.
Well, Cure needs to keep on the pressure here. He killed the CC.
Yes, he did.
But now he just wants to make sure that Innovation can't counterattack him or anything like that. But he's just got such a large army, it's hard for Innovation to even move out right now. And he's got the more mobile army as well with that bio force. Innovation will beat him in a straight-up fight, but he's not going to try to take a straight-up fight.
Oh my God.
Oh, this is not good.
This is chaos.
This is really bad. He may just need to switch his mouse.
I gotta get another rock with a string on it. This one's not very good. Okay, so let's. I'm just assuming it's a mouse issue.
Do you ever get this issue? This happens to me when I'm playing sometimes, where like suddenly it makes that Windows noise like, and your mouse just stops working for like 2 seconds, and then it starts working again. That happens to me sometimes. I wonder if he's got something like that.
No, I generally don't have mouse problems.
You're like, I don't use a rock for my mouse. I'm like,
man,
God. I'm just
my mouse is not a potato wolf. So, just sit tight, guys. We're going to figure out what exactly is going on. I mean, I got to say, guys, normally you never have 2 pauses ever in a game.
Yeah.
In fact, you almost never have 2 pauses in a series.
Yeah, it's. I mean, you hardly ever even have 1 pause in a series.
Yeah.
And to take that even further, you know,
now, I know that I believe. Okay, I could be wrong here. I know we've handed out yellow cards before.
Here's what happens in individual leagues, from what I know, is
this happens so rarely that.
What happens in individual league is if you have an equipment problem multiple times, you're forced to use another mouse, and if you don't have one, then GOMTV has a bunch of mice here that they will give you, like a backup mouse, but it's not your equipment, so that's really frustrating.
Okay, we're gonna go for the mouse switch here. Oh man.
That's
Let me
so
tell you something.
frustrating,
I would not be feeling too comfortable right now if I were Innovation. But he said his mouse wasn't working. So
I went to a lot of fencing tournaments in high school, and when one of your blades either breaks or if you have some sort of problem with the blade and it doesn't pass the test that you have to do before, it can be so frustrating to have to fence with someone else's blade that you're not used to the weight of it. The grip on it and everything else. It's so frustrating. And the same feeling, when you have to switch your mouse. Is so frustrating. Thanks for coming, by the way.
By the way, TLDR, Wolf fights with a sword. That was the moral of that story right there. So we have people from Russia. Welcome to the studio, guys. How long did you do fencing, Wolf?
About 4 years, I would say.
4 years fencing.
I fenced.
Can you fence out here in Korea?
I did do a lot of searching. I think there's 2 fencing centers, but they both are really far from where I live, so it's just not, unfortunately, convenient for me to do.
Now that I know this, I feel like you should just always carry a rapier around. I think that would just make sense.
For all tastes, I could be. Maybe I'm just really sneaky about it. You don't know where it is.
Sometimes when we get done at GOM, Wolf and I go out and get a beer, and sometimes I can't get a taxi. What I need is Wolf to pull out that rapier and fight that drunk guy off who's cutting me in line to get that taxi. I need that.
Well, he wants, or she wants, a 4-0. Innovation's got to fix his mouse before that's going to happen. Well, hopefully he's got his own backup mouse, or maybe his coach has a backup mouse that's the same model, same type or something that he could just plug in and make sure.
I want them to go in there and I want them to bring a trackball mouse. He's like, what? We're like, yeah, we only have trackball mice. Sorry,
we only have Wacom drawing tablets. You're gonna have to play with a pen.
Now you're much younger than me, Wolf, but. Did you ever play on one of those mice that had the ball in it?
The little green ball that you put your hand on top of?
Because I was going to StarCraft. No. I'm talking about where it just looks like a normal mouse, but it has the
ball
inside.
Oh, yeah, of course. I played StarCraft I with ball mice.
I used to go to tournaments with the ball mouse, man. And nerds, no joke, guys, the StarCraft I tournaments, they would take the ball out and they would be cleaning it before the match.
Oh, we're on camera.
This is the motion you make when you clean the ball.
So, yeah, I've used ball mice a lot. You got to take the ball out and clean it. Otherwise, sometimes it like kind of jerks a little bit when you're trying to use it. You got to have a really good mouse pad for that. Mouse pads become much more important.
Times were tough back then. That was rough.
You got like the HP mouse that came with your computer when your real mouse breaks, and you're like, oh, this is all I have, but I really want to play StarCraft. So, yeah.
Those are difficult times.
They really were. I remember when my school got all laser mice, optical mice in the school, how happy I was.
So you did fencing.
Yes.
Which we all just learned here. What else have you done? What other cool things have you done, Wolf?
I used to run long and short distance track. I kind of switched between the two of them. Cross country running.
Yeah. That's nowhere as interesting as fencing. I was hoping you were going to say something else crazy.
I used to collect sticks.
What?
When I was like in 3rd or 4th grade, like I would collect sticks to fight with.
I was a really weird kid when I was really young. I would be staying at my grandmother's house, and she had this garden, and so I thought slugs were really cool. Okay, so I would actually like take the slugs and let them crawl on me. And what I did was I took a bowl in my grandma's house and I collected all the slugs. I'm serious. I took all the slugs in the garden, and I put it. This is like, I was so young it did not occur to me that they would go out of the bowl, and I put them in the middle of the kitchen.
How young were you when you did this?
I'm like, oh, I was 18. No.
Freshman in college.
I think I must have been like a kindergarten or something like that. But I put him inside the kitchen, and then when I came back, an hour later, all the slugs were gone.
Where did they go?
I never told my grandmother. I don't know. They were all throughout the house. There's a story for you guys. All right, Wolf.
Well, it looks like we're back in here. Everything seems normal. A lot of pressure here by Kieran out at the natural. He's going to go ahead and get that debris gone, clearing that out, and Innovation now has to make a choice. Which side does he defend? Because I don't think he has enough.
This is actually heating up pretty quick here. He might have actually broken this line of defense here. We have the Hellbat's dropping here.
But the natural is under attack.
Yeah, and did Cure like just barely put a killing blow on him here? I mean, he's actually hitting him so hard right now.
Yeah, I think he just, like, Innovation literally didn't have enough units to defend both fronts, and he made a choice to defend the right side, which meant his left side was exposed, and now he's going to lose his CC here. And I think this might actually just be game
He's making his units dance.
Yeah, I think this is game over.
Yeah, this is game over. Wow.
He's just going to siege up this base. He has control of the ramp on the low ground and on the high ground. Man, he's just going to, I mean, I guess patiently wait for the next wave of units to come and end this game. This CC needs to lift, but he can't, because if he does, he's not no mining.
Yeah, this is game over. Cure just won this.
He's still
Unit's
dancing.
still dancing. The Marauders got a pretty cool dance.
They really do,
yeah,
actually.
They got the Mr. Roboto thing going on.
Don't see that too often.
No, not too often.
Well, I guess he's just trying to get revenge for the Manor Mules in the last game. And he got there at the end.
I guess I really am pretty dead. So he's picking up over here. Got Hellbats in there. But
this is just too much on the ground.
This is just checkmate, dude. He cannot get out.
He could just walk home at this point and regroup if he wanted to, but I don't think he will. He's just going to push up the ramp. Even with Hellbats dropping here, there's too many siege tanks in tank mode. They're going to make quick work of that. And maybe Innovation survives a few more seconds, but so what? He's not going to win this game. He does survive for now.
Look, here's what I'm thinking about. Since this game is actually done, how is Innovation going to be doing with this new mouse?
Yeah, that's
this is not his mouse. And, I mean, let me tell you something. Anybody who's tried to play StarCraft on a friend's computer knows that feeling where you're like, oh, this is really different.
Yeah.
And the mouse is a big part of that. So
the sensitivity and everything else, and every mouse feels different on different sensitivities.
Frankly, if I was Innovation, I would be staying in this game trying to get used to that mouse.
Yeah, maybe that's actually a really good point, Taze. So I'm actually so happy you brought that up, because that's probably exactly what we're seeing right now. That is a really good point. That's probably exactly what we're seeing here. Guaranteed. That's actually a great point.
There's no other way. He has no other time to try to figure this out in the early game.
I think you've solved it, man. I think that's exactly what we're seeing here.
Looks like another tank is going to get sniped down here. Cure probably actually wants to close this out pretty quickly. At this point in time, he probably is also thinking, well, he's trying to get used to that mouse now.
Yeah. Well, GG.
GG.
Ties it up. But a bit two weird, wonky games we saw game 1 and 2 there.
Yeah, I got to say, guys, the double pause, the mouse change, I don't believe we've ever had a semifinals or a finals with a mouse change.
No, I don't think so.
In fact, I think we might have only had like 2 mice changes ever. And they were really early on in the GSL.
Yeah.
They were like within the first year.
And probably really early on in the games that they were in. You know?
Yeah. So let's see how Innovation does here now. I can only imagine tension's high. There's I Love UV, I Love OOV, StarCraft, Brood War, Terran, legend there. It's got a lot of tournament experience. I believe it's stuff like mice changing actually happened more in the older StarCraft tournaments.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, just back then,
there were usually more problems trying to get hardware to work.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, just think drivers weren't as good as they are now, for example. So.
Well, guys, we're going to take a short little break. When we come back, we're going to go to game number 3 here between Cure and Innovation. Stay tuned.